So just finished a video right-handed where I was working on trying to find a driver that I'm going to use on the golf course for this year. I do think it's getting really close. I think that ping will probably fit the bill, but it's got me thinking about my golf bag in general. So I've got a putter that a buddy of mine lent me, which is great, a set of wedges that Larry lent me. I've got my fully fit set of irons from UGP, my Titleist T100s. And then I've got a driver that I can use, in the interim, but I don't have anything between 5-iron and driver. So obviously in playing golf, there's going to be shorter holes, there's going to be longer approach shots. I need something I can play when I get further out from the green or if I need to advance it down a fairway. So I'm kind of in the mode of, what do I go with here? Do I go with a high lofted fairway wood like I have in my hand? Or do I pick, a high lofted hybrid and slot that in for now with just one club between the driver and the 5-iron? I'm still learning to play right-handed, so I don't need several clubs in there. I just want something I can make solid contact with, have good control over the distance, and just rely on. Just have kind of a go-to club out there. So I'm going to start with the Rogue ST. It's a 5-wood. The Tensi AV blue in here, 65 stiff. I think it should suit me quite nicely. Get some numbers with that. I suspect this type of club will be the easiest for me to get elevated because I do struggle with hitting a bit of a low ball as a right-handed player. So I'm going to start with this, get some numbers, and then we'll probably try a hybrid as well and see if that fits a little bit better. It's a good shot there. 210 yards. Yeah, that's kind of about what I'm going to be looking for. Something that goes about 210, maybe rolls out to 220. The 5-iron is not going to get past probably 190, I would say. So to have something here that I can hit once my 5-iron is not got the horsepower, something around 215, 220 would be a great fit. I think this one is going to be decent for yardage. Pretty good swing also. Feels really nice. This Rogue's got a great feel to it. I'm a little concerned about the hooks with this one. So it seems to be a little bit on the draw biased sense, which is common when you have a fairway wood head. It's not, more of a player's shape. This is more of a traditional game improvement one. Not that I can't hit them well, but it's got quite a bit of curvature to it. So there's things I like about this. I think I'm going to table it for now, though. I want to try to find something that will allow me to hit a bit of a straighter ball. So just quickly there. I mean, is it doing roughly what I looked for? Yeah, 200 to 220 yard club. It's just, you can see the blue line there has got a lot of curvature to it. We're starting at 6 degrees right of target to have it draw back to center. Not necessarily ideal. So I think I feel a little uncomfortable with the length of the shaft. I think maybe a hybrid with a shorter shaft and a little bit more loft might let me swing a little bit more neutral and swing a little bit more confidently. So let's give that a shot next. So I've got a TSI2 hybrid here, set at 21 degrees. Very similar shaft, just the hybrid version of the Tensi AV blue, which we had in the 5-wood. I think this is going to feel a little bit nicer. It's much shorter, a little bit easier to control the strike. I think the longer the shaft gets, the more into out and sweepy I get. So I'm expecting to see this be something I can start a little bit more down the center line, similar to what we talked about with the driver, just a bit more of a neutral flight. So right off the bat, that's interesting. I'm hanging on to the face because I'm used to hitting hooks with the fairway, but that one actually took off very straight. Could have easily just released that and let it go. Yeah, much more in control. It's a bit of a draw on that one, but much more online. That one felt really good. Yeah, there's a level of control I think I have with this hybrid that I couldn't quite feel with the 5-wood, and I think it just comes down to shaft length. It's still giving me the 215 that I'm looking for, but I'm just having a much easier time striking it and hitting it straight. Even that wasn't the best strike, a little bit toey. A little bit of distance loss. Yeah. The main difference is just the straightness factor, the lack of curvature. These are much straighter ball flights. I mean, I'm not hitting them all perfect, but I think I'm going to end up averaging a little bit more in yardage than even the 5-wood just because I'm making better contact. I'm starting the ball more on line, and I have a much more consistent flight with it. Again, like that one felt really nice. A little bit of a draw. I'll just blame myself for hitting the toe, but it's much, you can see how much closer to the center line that is. That's a really good hit there. I don't mind seeing it go just a bit right because I think I'll start to get used to releasing it. Yeah, that's the best one I've hit so far with the hybrid. Just a really small draw, 217 yards in the air, which is exactly what I'm looking for so many different shots on the course. With the better striking and consistency, I actually got more ball speed out of the hybrid, even though it's got a shorter shaft and it's got way more loft. Very similar launch angle, but we got more spin, and we actually hit it 8 yards further in the air than the 5 wood. So straighter flight, less curvature, a little bit more yardage, a little bit more consistent was all the stuff I was looking for. You know, this is not a bad place to stop, but I may hit one more club just to see if there's something just slightly better than this. The 21 degree here feels good. I just wonder if a little tiny bit more loft would help me keep the ball in the air just a bit longer and be a little bit more consistent. So let's try one more hybrid before we make a decision on this club. So I've grabbed the Stealth hybrid, just the standard one. It is a 22 degree, so I'm hoping that just that little tiny bit of extra loft may help me with the ball flight, just add a little bit more spin. I'd like to spin it closer to 3,500, not 3,000, so that TSI-2 was really, really good, but just a little bit hot in flight. I like that one a lot. Yeah. That seems to me like it might have a little bit more spin on it. A little more under control. Just haven't quite struck them as well as I want to. That one's perfect. Felt like a great strike. It's got lots of height. It's carried the right distance. See, that's what I want to see, is 3,600 spin. And although I turned that one over, I think that's actually pretty close as well. 219 or so. There we go. That's a nice one there too. Curious what the spin numbers will be on that one. I feel like I'm just getting a little bit of help on backspin. So we'll eliminate the 5 wood and just look at the 2 hybrids. And yeah, so there's the real difference in what we were trying to achieve. You know, I had to be a little selective in the shots. You have to remember I'm still kind of a beginner right-handed, but when you look at the decent shots that I hit with the Stealth, had the extra degree of loft over the TSI, so I got a little bit more spin. The carry number is effectively the same. I'm not saying it went further. But what we got is a slightly higher flying, more stable ball flight. A little bit of ball speed, I think, just came from confidence. Once I knew I could get a little bit more spin on the ball, I think I just swung with a little bit more confidence, maybe a little bit faster. Yep, just about a mile an hour faster than the other club. And that was enough to get a little bit more, you know, 1 extra yard on there. But ultimately what mattered was the extra height and spin. And when you have extra height and spin, it helps you shrink the dispersion circle because you just have a much more stable ball flight. I didn't have to start that one as far to the right. So when we started, you know, yeah, just a really simple session, kind of like what I just did with my driver, guys. I'm trying to work through some different options as I work on my swing, as I start to play some golf right-handed to see what clubs can I use to get out there and play a bit of golf and get some experience. So let me know what you thought of this session. If you guys are looking for a hybrid or a 5 wood, let me know what your experiences have been. If I can answer any questions regarding, you know, if you're struggling with the hybrid, maybe the 5 wood's better for you. If you're slicing a hybrid or you're hooking a hybrid, you know, leave me in the comments. I think just for me personally, the way I'm swinging, the shorter shafted club with more loft just suited my delivery as a right-handed golfer quite a bit better. Let me hit some straighter shots that spun a bit more and really didn't give up any distance over the 5 wood because I just couldn't make solid contact with that 5 wood. That was really the big difference maker there. So hope you enjoyed that, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Do me a favor, like the video and subscribe, and thanks for watching.